Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Monday the 28th, November 2016, ending Friday the 2nd of December. We're into December already. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the S&P in futures form, the proper way to look at the market. And during the short holiday week here, where we had 3 days plus a day off and then a half day, we have drifted higher here. We've got a new closing high on Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday we were basically flat. Everybody was gone. Friday was a half day. Always suspicious. The Friday between Thanksgiving and the Saturday after, always a half day, always very light on volume. I wish they just closed the market. It's almost always a positive day because nobody is around to sell. And usually it comes back the next day, at least that amount. So we'll see what happens. Here's a look at, let's go through some of the main charts that we follow. Here's the QM oil down to 46.06. Dropping $1.89 on Friday. Gold down $7.80. That's a new closing low for the year on gold. S&P, there's the cash index up 8 on Friday. Like I said, it's usually up on that half day. NDX was up 16 on Friday. Still, we do not have new closing highs on the NASDAQ side of the market here. Stocks up a buck, basically very narrow the whole week. Biotech's up 9 after dropping on Tuesday and being lower and coming back a bit on Wednesday. The VIX closed Friday at 12.34. That's a very low close. It's usually a negative for the market. Trend closing at 1.02, and that's got the 10-day moving average back up to about the same point as well. Here's NASDAQ volume. As you can see, Friday, only 700 million shares traded. It just really makes me mad they even opened the market on that Thursday, Friday. Nobody's around. They're all shopping. It's just a waste of time. Advanced decline ratio on Friday, because it doesn't really matter, but it was plus 771 on the NASDAQ, plus 850 on the New York. Google gains a buck 23 after dropping on Wednesday. Apple gains 56 cents after also dropping about that amount on Wednesday. Amazon up 25 cents. Hasn't really gone anywhere all week. Netflix down 28 cents. Tesla back up 351. Here's the interesting thing for the week to note. We had that 13 buy signal on the TLT back just over, it occurred on Monday actually. No, it occurred the prior Friday. So, you've got the pink risk line. So even once you get the buy signal, you can still go down as low as that pink risk line and not violate the turning point in the market, which we did on Wednesday. Wednesday, bonds made new lows, continuing this massive sell-off that's occurred since the election. I keep saying that the stock market probably won't actually roll until the bonds bottom out a bit. So we've got a signal in place. Even though we went lower, we're still holding the signal. We're not back underneath that pink risk line. If we go under that pink risk line, and bonds just continue to sell off, this is going to become very sobering very quickly. You would hope that you could at least get a pause here for a bit because this is a big move down, one of the biggest, fastest drops in the bond market in a long time. But on Friday's half day, we were back up just a little bit here. Dow Jones, not really relevant, but here's the look again. Friday's half day up again because nobody's around to sell. So a couple more days up on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Friday. A lot of times that light volume stuff comes back fairly quickly. We are building, if you look at these signals though, look at the both the Dow and on the S&P now. We did get those 9-bar startup phases, and if we're just going to go ahead and produce a 13 sell signal, that could still be a couple days off. But we're well on our way at this point. Matter of fact, if I go to projection mode, of course, now the half day, that's 5. So we got potentially, they don't have to be days in a row, but it could be as soon as 8 days out we get a sell signal on the broad market. And remember, when you look at the Dow, the last place we had a 13 buy signal was on the Dow, right? And then it went up. So now the Dow and the S&P both building towards a 13 sell signal, just as those bonds are trying to bottom out. It'll be very interesting to see how this goes for the rest of the year. I'm going to guess we get a gap up on Monday, but we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the intra-week action so we can see. And again, this looks weird because of the holiday. I'm going to go to 10-minute candles. And so if I slide it back so you can just see basically the close of last Friday. So Monday we gapped up, went a little higher, pulled back, and then pushed up again, closed above the open. Tuesday gapped up small, pulled back to fill the gap, curled back up and closed about where we opened. Wednesday we gapped down, made our way back up to fill the gap, closed even for the day. And then Thursday is Thanksgiving. They show some prints just because there's some computerized stuff going on there. And then Friday is the half day, and you can see it was basically just dead. And then the last 10 minutes, they popped the market up. Nobody's around, and that's a reaction to how the Black Friday spending might be going. So my guess, we might get a little gap up on Monday, but we'll see what happens because usually, like I said, the one thing that just gets taken care of is this little drift higher for that Friday half day usually gets erased, so that would bring us back to about 2,200 on the ES at some point in time. All right, let's take a look at the economic data that's coming out this week. There's quite a bit of it, actually. Starting on Monday the 28th, no data. Tuesday, the second look at GDP for the third quarter. Remember, all the data that's coming out right now, this is October or last quarter data. Not much of it's November yet, so this is this is all still stuff that was baked in before the election. The Case-Shiller 20 City Index at 9 a.m., Consumer Confidence at 10 a.m. That's all on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the MBA Mortgage Index, ADP Employment Change, Personal Income and Spending, Core PC Price Index, Chicago PMI, Pending Home Sales, Crude Oil Inventories, Fed Beige Book in the afternoon. A lot of data. Thursday, December 1st, 7:30 a.m. We've got the Challenger job cuts, the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims, construction spending, ISM index, natty gas, that's the weekly number, auto and truck sales in the afternoon, and then on Friday, the big one is the unemployment rate with the non-farm payrolls. So there's a lot of big data out this week to move the market around, plus a reaction to whatever spending is going on for the holidays. But let's watch those bonds. That's the key. When do the bonds finally give up this sell-off they've been in? And so far, still selling off. It's amazing. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.